the very first person who had ever opened her home to me in City Church. And she is one of the persons who has influenced my career.
I had a challenge at the time. That should be 2 years ago, thereabout. I had a challenge. I had a career-damning case in court, as it were.
I keep on praying that prayer every day. Once I saw him downstairs, I will come down and begin to admire him. I said, God, make me like this man. He may not know, but he really influenced my life. He served as a pivotal point in my destiny.
Most of us can point to someone whose life, quietly changed ours. Not one big moment, but many small ones, like a ripple. You don't always notice where it begins. Only how far it travels.
In the year 2000, I was serving as a core member in Nigeria Export Processing Zone. It's called EPZ. And at that time, Pastor Tony Ralph was the manager of Stonecraft. Now, my office in that administrative block was upstairs. His own office was downstairs. So I came to work, I saw him one day. Kai, personality attracted me. So I came down the staircase, and while he was going out of the office, going out of the administrative block, I was watching him. And I made a simple prayer. I said, God, make me like this man. And as a core member at that junction of your life, in fact, you cannot ascertain the direction of your life.
I come from a background that for you to pray, you have to groan, you have to scream the roof off. If you are not sweating and shouting and making a whole lot of noise, then it seems like God is not hearing you, or you are not praying enough. And then I met someone who introduced me to a better way of prayer that seemed unserious, seemed casual, but turned out to be very effective. And I'm talking about the Hour of Tongues prayer on Telegram. I had a challenge at the time. That should be 2 years ago. I had a career-damning case in court, as it were.
I'm going to be talking about one of the persons who have influenced me positively in City Church. And that's no other person than Mrs. Ntewak Umor. So she has been the very first person who had ever opened her home to me in City Church. And she is one of the persons who has influenced my career significantly. She's one of the persons who asks the difficult questions. So anytime I sit with her, she's always drilling. So this is her questions. She won't ask, oh, hello, hi, Favor. Oh, she would ask that, yeah. She'll ask, oh, how are you doing? How's your day? Then she'll proceed to drill me. So she'll ask questions like, oh, what's your plan? Why are you doing that? Okay, what next? Those questions that keeps you uncomfortable, really uncomfortable, sincerely. But I came to appreciate it because most times, most people would not appreciate it. And that's because everybody is trying to keep people off their space, but she's that one person that does not gloss over anything. She's in your space because she wants you to get out of your comfort zone. Growth begins after your comfort zone ends. I saw how effective her questions, despite how uncomfortable it could be, had sifted out certain things off my plate. So yeah, I am really thankful for having her in my space.
As regards influence, the one person that has really influenced me is Esther Okoye. Esther introduced me to, or began to teach me to pray the city church way, as I'll call it. And for me, it didn't make sense at the time, because how are you just chill when you are praying? You are not screaming, you are not shouting, you are not groaning and raising the roof. You are talking to God as if you were talking to your friend next door. And how did she do that? She introduced me to hot sessions, which I didn't find okay at the time, because, just 1 hour and we are all cool and we are praying. But then, even on days I didn't join, I didn't pray, she patiently walked me through it. Every 4:50 a.m., she would call me until I pick up my phone to join the prayers, and she would stay on that prayer, checking that I pray through. And because of the challenge I had at the time, we tied the prayers to it. That should be 2 years ago, thereabout. I had a challenge. I had a career-damning case in court, as it were. 8 days to the first hearing, she told me, look, let's pray every day conscientiously for this in the hot session, and let's see if God won't do anything. So I took it as a bet, and I would tell God, okay, let's see if you are God, let's see how this goes.
What attracted me to him is his charisma, his appearance, the way he carries himself, the way he talks, and whatever. I believe that he has extraordinary magnet in his life that magneted me, not even me, my destiny. To the earth now serve as an arrowhead. I believe that he is a man that God has placed at the junction of my destiny for direction. God just answered that prayer. That simple prayer. God, make me like this man. All of a sudden, the way I see things begin to change. Perspective about things begin to change. The 1 or 2 clothes I have, I had to make it like his own. Put it neat, iron it neat, and they begin to dress like him. Somewhere along the line, people begin to admire me too. People will say, I like your shoe, I like your shirt, I like your trouser. Once people tell me, I like your shoe, I say, do you want it? They say, yes. I say, okay, buy it. If it's your size, I sell it. If it's not your size, okay, I say, don't worry, I'll travel and get it for you. So I find out that I'm selling my clothes every day. I make little gain, go buy another one, wear like him, dress like him. I will go and make suit for myself. Any person that says, I like a suit, bankers everywhere. Somewhere along the line, I find myself in a business I never knew I would do before. And I find myself in fashion business. In that level, as a copper. The test to look for job is diminishing. The spirit of entrepreneurship in me is growing. Now, of course, from that point, I know what I'm designed to do. From there, I begin to think beyond where I am. From there, I raise money, start a shop, and then God give me inspiration. I name it Essential Style.
Another thing I've got to appreciate about her was that my spiritual life, she doesn't take it as a joke. She's one person that when I sit with, she doesn't just let my thoughts be so simplified. She doesn't want me to gloss over my spiritual life. So she sets the standard. She said it has to be God's standard. So when my thoughts does not align with what living Christ-like should be, she's more like, no, Favor, you're not in line.
I walked into that courtroom and I didn't spend 15 minutes. This is something I had expended resources, I had expended favors, called in favors, everything failed. But at the place of the hot session, I had my answers. So that, for me, is the influence. The patience, not giving up when I wasn't seemingly interested at the time. It has really influenced me because now I have understood better perspectives and insights about prayer and communicating with God.
Thank you so much, Auntie Tewak. That's how I call her, because she has impact of wisdom. She's someone who encourages me, and she lovingly corrects. Yes, lovingly correct, but sometimes when gbas is needed, she used to give it to me. So I'm appreciative of that. So thank you so much for being in my space. And yes, I got to pick up family, family structures and all that. So please, everyone should appreciate having people who have done life before you, because there are certain things you get to pick up from them. And I've got to learn a little bit about how I'm going to grow my own family, certainly because I'm going to have one in future. So, did I say future? No, sorry, I'm going to have one soon. So I'm appreciative of that as well. So thank you so much, Auntie Auntie. Even though I don't get to say so much, I think this is a platform that I'm able to say this, and you're one of the strongholds I have here in CQ. Thank you so much. I love you.
This has not just ended with me. I've been able to get my mom, who is about the closest person to me, to also learn how to pray effectively. Not necessarily having to scream, not necessarily having to raise or pull down the roof, but to pray effectively, and also get her to join the Hour of Tongue sessions when she's able to. That for me has been a thing of joy, that someone else in my family too has been able to enjoy and benefit what I have.
I want to say to Pastor Tony Raff that you're a great mentor to me, and God really used you to shape my destiny. Number one, direct my destiny and shape my destiny. You're a very big player. Whatever I am today is by the grace of God, what God has used you to do in my life.
Because she has been able to drill me on certain things, I've also been that kind of person in my circle. So I do not let you settle for less, no. You cannot be around me and just act the way you want to. You can't be a sleeping Christian. You can't set back on anything. So you have to have a plan. You have to be there, because I will drill you. I would not give you a day's break. So I'm already imparting my circle, and sincerely, I have a beautiful circle of sisters here in City Church still. I can list a full, should I say a full episode or a full booklet of names. So if you, do I go ahead? Okay, no. All right.
Years ago, God planted more than a church. He planted a people, ordinary people, learning to live like Jesus, one life at a time. And every act of kindness, every act of faithfulness created another ripple.